This is going to be part 4 of the TOA guide. Um, for Kephri, it's essentially super basic. Kephri is one of the easiest bosses to do in this room. Um, there's tiles on the floor because there's an invocation for a fireball to go into a 3x3 rather than a 1x1. So the white tiles represent the skip, which I was talking about before on the other video. So if you go from this tile to this tile, you are not stepping in the middle, meaning that the 3x3 would be around here. And then if you go from here to here, you're automatically safe. So as soon as you see the shadows, you just have to step to the next tile. Kephri also has a mechanic, which is the pushback. The pushback is going to make a trail of dung in the direction you're standing on. So, for example, if I'm standing west of Kephri, if I'm standing here, it'll automatically push me west. If I'm standing north, it'll push me north. So, these tiles that are in the back are, their purpose is to explain and remind you that you have to stand there to use that mechanic properly. So, in a scenario that you're doing this by yourself, you will never make the dung trail mess you up in the sense of like there's gonna be a melee scarab, and then there's gonna be a ranger scarab on the first phase. That meleeer, you need to get him stuck in 2 trails, because while you're praying range, he's just hitting you with melee for free. One way to avoid it would be is if you have like Ice Barrage, you can just freeze and then kill it. But Thralls and, this is a better setup for this type of raid. So I wouldn't recommend that. So I would just recommend learning how to use the trail properly. So what I will do here is I will use the Divine. I don't have to pray anything. I will go in, summon a Thrall, wait for the shadow, and step on the side. Now I'm going to click here as soon as I see the shadow. And then I'm going to go here as soon as I see the shadow. Click the boss. And then stand here. And then I'm going to click that red tile and click the boss. Now if you click the red tile, you will never get stuck in there. So now I'm going to go on the other side of the boss. And I'm going to delay the damage so I can do another trail before the first phase goes down. So I'm going to turn off my piety just to conserve prayer. And just skip the fireballs. This phase you can also skip by just praying range. You don't really need to worry about, these eggs, because they don't really do anything bad. They spawn these scarabs that fly, and then they range you the whole time. So what you can just do is pray range, and you're safe from them. So now, getting swarmed, I'm going to stand here. I'm going to click the red tile, and then click the boss. And now, when the scarab comes out, it'll get stuck in there. And I'm going to go on the other side, just so I can finish off the ranger that's on this side. Now, while this is happening, there's also something else happening, which is swarms. Swarms are coming out. And every time a swarm touches Kephri, they're healing Kephri. They're giving it like a shield. So what you can do is you can take advantage of that downtime and just finish off the scarabs. In this scenario, I don't have an anti-poison, but the Keris clears the anti-poison. So I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to go on this side. Actually, let me go on the other side so I can explain something else. So the push mechanic on the northeast side has that red tile actually helps you with the pushback, because one way to not get stuck with dung where you don't need it is by using that red tile. So when I get the swarms around me, like on the body, I'm just gonna stand here. So let me stand here first, and now let me stand here. The mechanic. There we go. So if you stand here, you can stand here 3 times. You can get pushed back 3 times on this tile. So 1, 2, and 3. The third one will keep you right there. You don't have to worry about, you know, like standing in the corners or going all the way up. Just use the red tile and it's a free, you know, free pushback with no dung to like mess you up. I'm gonna carry spec because I need a little health. Clear the poison. And now I'm just gonna hit the major. The major, you need to make sure you finish off first because it can hit really hard with magic. So the faster you get it over with, the better. And then we're gonna do these, which is the ranger. And then once the ranger is gone, we're gonna do a mage switch. And now while we kill the scarab, you need to be careful with the fireballs. So as soon as you see shadows, just move. I'm gonna stand here. And I'm gonna stand here. So I'm gonna throw. Now I should be doing the swarm any second now. And then again, I'm gonna stand on the red tile. And I don't have to go all the way up. And it'll put me right there. Now if I get pushed back one more time and I stand there, it'll keep me right there. And you can minimize how much dung you put on the floor. So right here, I'm gonna get pushed back here first. And it'll keep me there. And now when I hit it in the corner, it's gonna push me to the corner. And from the corner, you can simply just click the boss. And this is as much pushback as he can do on a solo. Basically, you know, like if you're playing with other players, this is the best way of doing this because you will not get them stuck anywhere. And that's how you do Kephri.